adultery. Is monogamy really possible? We've been talking to Rebecca and Joe, who even though there was no evidence, no even admission to an affair, just the thought that Rebecca might be having an affair drove practically crazy. It almost ruined their 17-year marriage until just last week they just got back together. The question we're asking is, can you pull a relationship back together to a trusting level after this? I see some people shaking their heads yes. Why do you believe so? Come on. Stand up.
Why do I believe so?
Yeah, stand up and tell me.
Well, it's kind of personal. But me and my husband went through the same thing.
Oh.
Just a year ago. But we have kids, and we love our kids. And I think that as adults, we have to work together to rebuild the trust because the kids need to have both parents.
And you really can do
that. And I do trust him. Yes, I do.
You do trust him.
I know he is all the time, and I do trust him.
You do? Well, okay. I want you to welcome Yolanda and her husband, Terry, from Tampa, Florida. They're right now trying to find trust, too. Throughout their 8 years of marriage, they have both struggled with being faithful to one another. Yolanda says that once she suspected Terry of cheating on her, well, she became a different kind of wife. How?
I became nagging, clocking my husband.
Clocking?
Clocking.
Like checking his time or hitting him over the head?
Timing him. Timing him. If he would go to a store, I knew exactly how long it should take him to go and come back.
Yolanda, I understand you were even sniffing Terry's clothes.
Yes.
Now, don't y'all even laugh. You know you've sniffed somebody's clothes before to see where they've been. But things must have gotten to a desperate point. Y'all know that kind of craziness that you go into when you think somebody's cheating on you, you're looking through the pockets. Did you get through that frenzy, that he's being unfaithful frenzy?
Yes, I did, through God's help and through me and my husband really talking and hearing each other's hurts and hearing what he really had to say.
Well, Terry, what did you have to say? How in the world do you explain cheating?
Well, it all started when we first met. I walked in on her, this was before we was married, her and a gentleman all embraced and kissing and, you know, and it tore me apart.
Were you engaged at the time?
No, at the time we was dating.
You were just dating?
We was dating, but it tore me apart out of my whole, I was 22 and I had never felt that way about a woman in my life.
Can you explain so I want to hear what a guy goes through, because I've been through it, believe me.
Yeah, okay.
I can, you know, but I want to know what a guy goes through when you walk in and you see, whoa, this is not the relationship I thought I had. In fact, that person there's got the relationship.
Right. When I walked in, I just, my mouth dropped and you know, I called her, you know, the word that rhymes with witch and and I turned and I walked out and didn't see her for months on end and I was struggling with not wanting to see her but wanting to see her. Mm-hmm. So I decided to, you know, to go ahead and give it another shot, and 6 months later we got married, but then the relationship started, we started to bicker and argue.
Because that thought never went, that scene never went out of your head, did it?
Absolutely right.
You never forget those things. I don't care how long.
So I decided to, you know, as women quote, hell holds no fear like a woman scorn, hell holds no fear like a man scorn.
So you retaliated.
Over
and over again. Well, who were you?
Until I felt that.
That she'd paid.
Right.
Whoa, I bet you paid dearly.
Yeah, I did, and
yeah, and I'm through that, and I love you very much.
It's okay.
I want you to take this. I want you. Look at her crying. That's wonderful. But I want you to look at each other and talk to each other about what you were going through when you made those decisions, what you were thinking. Just clean it all out right here and now.
We have already done that.
Yeah.
Well, do it for us. I want to hear what you talked about. Really? I mean, how many chances do you get to hear a couple go through what I was thinking about when I decided to break your heart? I want to hear somebody talk about that, especially somebody who's holding hands and determining that they're going to stick together. Can you talk? Can you do that for us? I won't sit down and be quiet. I just want to hear what y'all talked about to get back on this road.
We talked about, go ahead, honey.
Well, you know, what I was going through was that visualizing it kept playing over and over in my mind, like I was popping in a video. I was saying to myself, how could she, you know, do this to me? And then I was saying to myself, you're a macho man. How could you let yourself be hurt like this? Mm-hmm. So I say, to redeem myself and to inflict as much hurt that I was feeling in my heart, on your heart, that's what preceded my cheating, and until I thought that you've paid enough, I continued to do it. But then I stopped, and I realized that, you know, it wasn't doing any good. It was just, you know, it was tearing our family apart. I was seeing that, I really started to see how it was hurting you, and that what really made me want to stop cheating. And then I got closer to the Lord also, and then He convicted me very, 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 very severely, chastised me like a daddy would chastise his own child, you know. And so I decided to, as they say, turn right and go straight.
Can you talk from a woman's point of view, what you were going through?
Well, when I cheated on you, I thought I was running away from really loving you and running away from my true feelings, and I didn't realize that at that time that you were the man that God had or wanted for me and for us to share our life together. And when I did that, and when I seen the pain that it put you through, and you told me, then I understood, and I understood over and over and over again.
Boy, I tell you, give him a hand. Up next, we're going to lean on you for a little help throughout this show. Coming up next, she was madly in love with him. He thought marriage was a real-life fairy tale, and now we're going to find out why this minister broke his own marriage vows. Stay with us.